What's good, YouTube? Shy here, coming at you fast with some more gaming content. Beautiful day here on the East Coast, so I figured I might do something a little fun here. You might be looking at this and saying, "Hey, this isn't Magic. This isn't Magic Arena. What's going on?" Well, today we're gonna play a game that I like quite a bit and have played quite a bit as well. I think 130 hours or something. So this is Baldur's Gate. This is an RPG from 1997. Yes, the graphics are bad. Yes, it is awesome. A little bit of backstory here. I've been a big fan of RPG video games for a long time. I played JRPGs a bunch when I was in high school and a little bit afterwards, and then I slowly started to get into more CRPGs. I played Fallout 1 and really liked it. Fallout 2 wasn't a huge fan as much, but eventually I found Baldur's Gate, and then Baldur's Gate 2, and then Siege of Dragonspear, and then Baldur's Gate 3 got announced, and then it looked really good, and now I want to play Baldur's Gate again. This game, it's really good. There are some downsides. Death is really punishing. The hoops you have to jump through to revive a character. They drop all their stuff, so first you gotta pick up all their stuff. Inventory is super limited, so it's super hard to get all their stuff picked up. You have to trek back to a priest. You're fighting random encounters when you travel, when you rest. You could just get hit so hard that your guy just vaporizes and you don't even have the option to revive him. Just pick up his stuff at that point, basically, and move on. Petrification is really annoying too because they leave your party. When you get them back, you can talk to them and get them to rejoin the petrified party member to rejoin your party and they have 1 HP. You have to heal them again. You have to pick up all their stuff. There's a ton of inventory management in this game. They added some items to the game to make it easier. You're still gonna run into I'm over encumbered a lot. You're gonna run into I have no inventory space a lot. Pretty much any time you loot a room, you're gonna be rearranging the inventory. So there's tons of dated stuff in this game that really doesn't work anymore, especially because it uses an older version of Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition, which really isn't very player friendly. It's kind of just random BS constantly and hoping your players don't rage quit. It's very pro DM, torturing the players. But yeah, the good news is the game is really well written. Tons of memorable companions. They added some new companions with the expansion. They're all awesome. They all have their own stories. They all have their own unique map areas you can go to. The expansion's really awesome too. Tons of epic stuff going on here. Tons of plot twists. You get to fight tons of enemies that you wouldn't normally fight in the base game. So story's really good. Character creation and customization is pretty much the best in its class until Baldur's Gate 3 comes out, I have no doubt, because that uses 5th edition mechanics, which are much better than 2nd edition for players, in my opinion. Just tons of cool stuff, tons of role-playing opportunities. You can choose your responses to various questions. You can be evil, chaotic, good, all that good stuff. Tons of class options. Yeah, I think the only way to really show this off though is going to be to jump into this game. So let's do that. Let's hit single player and let's create our character. A new game, please. Let's be a lady. We're never a lady. We're a dude all the time in real life. Let's be a girl. Oh, scars are nice. This is one of the characters from the expansion. So that's gonna be kind of weird if we play this character in the expansion, but we'll see what happens. So we'll be a lady. Race. So a few different races in this game. Human, elf, half-elf, dwarf, etc. Quick review of what we're looking at here. Humans are pretty bad unless you're dual classing. I'd explain what that is, but it's so complicated that it's... Yeah, I think people who beat the game twice still probably don't know how to dual class effectively. I had to beat the game, beat it again, then I did a dual class run, I messed it up, then the next one went well. So dual classing can be pretty tricky. I wouldn't recommend it for new players. stick with single and multi-class. But that's pretty much all humans can do. Elves have some good status resistance, as well as they're better with bows, good thief skills. Half elves are really bad elves. Dwarves, they've got a ton of saving throw bonuses. They've got thief skills. Pretty much every class from here on has stat modifiers, which is definitely one of the cringier things here. Like if you're a half orc, you have -2 intelligence, which is fine. You can still be a high intelligence half orc, but there's a certain limit to your intelligence. If you want to be a max intelligence half orc versus a max intelligence gnome, like gnomes are just naturally apparently better at being smart than half orcs. So that's pretty disturbing. There's some disturbing implications there that we're not going to get into, but try to ignore that. I guess it's an old game. It's probably not something they thought about too much. The short dwarf halflings and gnomes, the shorties, so to speak, these are the best heritages you can pick if you're just concerned about gameplay, because they all have bonuses to their saving throws. So this game does a lot of invisible behind the scenes dice rolls. If you're about to be inflicted by a status condition, or say a bunch of your dudes get hit by a fireball, they all make saving throws. If they succeed on their saves, they avoid the condition. Sometimes they take half damage, sometimes they take no damage from the ability. Really high. If you fail a saving throw a lot of times, especially against like crowd control stuff, that usually means your party's dead. Like if your guys are just running around the entire map scared out of their minds, you're just going to aggro a bunch of random monsters that are going to murder them. But yeah, you really don't want to fail saves if you can help it, or have as few of your party members fail the save as possible. So these are the races you want to pick if you don't want to spend most of the game just being confused and feared and charmed and God knows what else. Yeah, dwarves are more of like a warrior class. Halflings are more of a thief class, and gnomes are more of a spell casting class. And then there's half orcs, which are the only race that you can start with 19 strength, which is really useful because 19 strength opens a lot of locked containers. You can just bash them with your sword. It's still better to have a rogue though. Either way, these are the best classes, and in this game, if your main character dies, it's game over. So we are gonna pick one of these for sure. I'm gonna go with dwarf. Actually, it just has 3 saving throw bonuses, where halflings and gnomes only have 2. We get 1 extra con, so that's gonna be helpful with our HP. The -1 dex really sucks. We'll get into that a bit later. -2 charisma doesn't matter though. So we're a dwarf. A lady dwarf with no beard even. Scandalous. Yeah, this is some rat queen stuff right now. Let's see. So this is not the entire class list. Just to give you an example here, let's switch to a more versatile class, or a race, human. So these are all the classes. If you're a human, you can be fighter, ranger, paladin, druid, sorcerer, monk, shaman. You can be all kinds of stuff. This is one of the lame things about 2nd edition, is there's tons of character creation restrictions. So if you're a dwarf, you can literally be a fighter, a cleric, a thief. You can be a fighter / cleric, which is it's not the best of both worlds. It's kind of like a jack of all. You're a cleric with less spells that can fight slightly better, basically. Or a fighter thief, which has some cool combinations. You can do some cool stuff there. These are your multi-classes, so you're leveling up 2 classes at once. So rather than having a level 7 fighter, you could have like a level 4 fighter / level 4 cleric, and they're not going to have as much stuff, but they're going to be getting a little bit better as a fighter, a little bit better as a cleric. There's some cool multi-classes, but I'd rather just be a full cleric. I'd rather have all my spells. The cleric is the quote-unquote the healer class of the game, but clerics in D&D are super badass. I don't know if they just had trouble getting people to play them or not, but they're loaded with tons of high damage spells. Like you can make undead run in fear, you can drop fire on people, you can create a ring of blades around yourself, you can do all kinds of cool stuff later in the game. Tons of really good buffs too. The good thing about buff spells is they always work, unless you get silenced or dispelled or something. but there's no saving, so there's no chance for it to fail, basically. So buff spells are always a really safe bet, especially in the early game. So yeah, we're going to be a cleric. We're hopefully going to be a cool cleric. And then we pick our class kit, which are like subclasses, basically. They have advantages and disadvantages over the base class. With clerics, though, the only disadvantages for the kits are you're restricted to being specific alignments, which we'll get into very soon. But that's not a huge disadvantage, so there's very little reason to be just a vanilla cleric unless you're multi-classing or dual-classing and don't have a choice. But yeah, we are going to be a Priest of Hell. The advantages to being a Priest of Hell are you can cast True Sight once a day, which means you can see invisible stuff, illusions, that kind of thing. Super useful because there are some annoying invisible enemies later in this game. You can also create a nice sword once a day. It doesn't have a. It shuts off your spell casting, and it doesn't have a damage bonus, but it does have a 2-hit bonus. So it's nice. I mean, we're probably not going to use it too much, but it's there. The main thing is going to be the True Sight for sure. Priests or clerics can just learn it on their own too, but we can use those spell slots for something else if we just already have it. So for alignment, let's talk about D&D, the D&D alignment system a little bit. It is really just a. I understand the reason behind it, but it's really just a set of minor restrictions. Like, oh, you're a good character, so you can't use this evil item, that kind of thing. But basically, you take there's 2 columns. There's column A, which is lawful, neutral, and chaotic. There's column B, which is good, neutral, and evil. You take something from column A, something from column B, you smash them together, and that's you, basically. That's your personality. Your characters, how they react and deal with the world around them. So to give you a little bit of an idea here, so lawful good, that would be like a judge or like a for the people politician type situation, like Bernie Sanders type guy. Just really, really good people. They follow the law and they use the law to help others, essentially. That's the idea of good. Good doesn't necessarily mean that you're, smiting the forces of evil or anything. It just means that you're looking out for others before yourself, essentially. Then neutral good is what a lot of people would fall under. That's just someone who's, helps others, doesn't necessarily follow the law or break the law. They're just, they're out there. There's nice people, basically. So that's awesome. That's always a good one. And then lawful, then chaotic good. That would be like, for example, like Jester from Critical Role, if you've ever seen that. Just like someone who's all over the place, basically, but they're not hurting people, they're not breaking any laws, they're really trying to help people. At the end of the day, they just do it in their own wacky way, basically. I'm sure there's some examples of that out there, but I can't think of any more realistic ones straight off the bat. That's chaotic good. That's a very popular one. True neutral, that's mostly like druids and stuff. So you're looking for balance, basically, usually nature related. Try to balance nature and civilization, that kind of thing. It's very unlike this. This is easily the least realistic alignment. I don't know if there's really a lot of true neutral people in the world. It doesn't seem likely, but this is just, if you're a druid, you're forced to be it, basically, and that's the main use of true neutral. Lawful evil would be someone who uses laws to further their own interests, so whether through loopholes or manipulation or something like that. The CEO of a big company would probably is usually lawful evil. Another example would be a corrupt politician, a corrupt judge, a corrupt police officer, that kind of thing. A mob boss. So lawful evil, an interesting choice. Neutral evil is someone who doesn't really concern themselves with the law. They're just out for themselves. So neutral evil. They don't break a ton of laws. They don't follow a ton of laws. They don't enforce anything. They're just out for themselves, basically. And then chaotic evil would be someone who, you know, is just all about destruction, death, serial killers, demons. They're all chaotic evil, really nasty stuff there. Either way, we're a cleric, and I just love playing like hero classes and stuff. So we're gonna be a lawful good cleric here. This has very little impact on the game, so don't worry about it. Abilities. So we got a roll of 75. Interesting. I think it always starts you with that roll. I'm not sure. So let's talk about the abilities a bit. These are what determine what your character is good at. So strength, this would be their ability to hit with melee weapons, move large objects, that kind of thing. In this game, it's really just a melee weapon skill. Dexterity, this is how good you are at dodging and stuff. In this game, dexterity is super important for every character because it lowers what's called your armor class. The lower your armor class, the harder it is for people to hit you. So when you put on armor, it lowers your armor class. Sounds weird, but when you put on armor, it lowers your armor class. When you have a high dex, it lowers your armor class. There's tons of stuff that lower it, and you just want it as low as possible because getting hit sucks for a lot of characters. Even wizards and stuff want a really high dex in this version of D&D just because you have so little health, so little armor. Like, you really need everything you can get. And that's one of the bad things about being a dwarf is you do get the -1 dex. So we are going to have our armor class is going to be 1 higher than it should be throughout the entire game. We're going to be 5% easier to hit, basically, but we accept that. We're a cleric. We're going to be pretty tanky, so... Con's really important for every character, too. This just determines how much HP you start with and how much you get on level up. I don't know. My game's pretty bugged. I always turn off the map. You're supposed to roll for your HP when you level up, and basically you roll. There's an invisible dice roll, and whatever the result is, plus your con, that's your new HP. That's the HP, the new HP you get. In my game, it defaults to maxing out the dice roll for newer players. I have it turned off, but it still seems to do it. So I'll see if that happens on this run as well. If it does, whatever. It's not the end of the world. We have a little bit extra HP. That seems fine to me. It should make the run a little bit smoother, but I will be turning that off either way. Intelligence is for wizards. It basically determines how many spells they can learn, whether they can use wands and scrolls, that type of stuff. Not going to be important for this character because we're not a wizard. Wisdom is basically the exact same thing but for clerics, so we are going to have a really high wisdom. And charisma does little to nothing. I've heard things about, oh, there's a charisma check here, there's a charisma check there. I don't believe it. Like, you can play a minimum charisma character and people will still love you if you're a good guy. So let's just drop that all the way. Since we're a dwarf, we can drop it all the way to 1, so let's do it, because we have -2. This is going to give us 9 points in our pool that we can respend. We can re-roll our stats to try to get a higher total, but that's pretty lame. We're not going to do that. Let's get our wisdom maxed out. There we go. Intelligence, we need at least 8 in order to be literate, so we can use scrolls and wands. So let's keep it at 8. No reason to go lower there. Con, we're going to put up to 19. This is one of the good things about being a dwarf is you do get that +1 con. That's going to make our saving throws a lot better. I think it makes our health a little bit better too. For most, if you're not... This is one of the weird features of this character creator. If you're not a short race and you're not a warrior class, there's no reason to have a con higher than 16 because you don't get those saving throw bonuses and you don't get bonus HP above con 16 if you're not a warrior. So if we were like, say, a human cleric, we would just do 16. But where we're a dwarf, we'll max it. Same for dex, we'll max this 2. Let's see. We need 1 more point. We're going to take it out of strength. It'd be nice to have strong melee weapons with the cleric. Clerics can get in there pretty good eventually. But there's a ton of ways to buff your stats in this game, so I'm not too worried about having a low strength. Strength gets a bit more confusing if you're a warrior class, but where we're a cleric, we don't worry about it. So this is probably going to be our setup here for the game. Little min-maxy, extremely min-maxy actually, but that's how we do it. Speaking of which, full disclosure here, there is going to be saves coming in this run. It's just the having a character die or accidentally walking through a ton of traps that you forgot about, or spending a ton of money a spell and trying to learn it, and then reading the scroll fails. Like, these are all just terrible things that shouldn't be in the game, and we're going to avoid that as much as possible. That's the good thing about this game, is you can save anytime. We'll be saving constantly with the quick save key, and that way if something happens, no big deal. We'll just reload and keep playing instead of having a really bad time. Sounds good to me. So yeah, if you don't like saves coming, this is not going to be the run for you, that's for sure. You should probably leave. All right. For proficiency, so I was thinking about this a little bit. Sling would be an interesting one. I kind of like not having a frontliner here. But at the same time, and I'm not 100% on this, Sling might use Dex because it's a range weapon, but it might use Strength too. I'm not 100%. So rather than go all in on something I'm not 100% sure on, I'm just going to go with the old trusty flail / morningstar. Always a good choice for clerics. Good stuff there. With weapon style, and then we're gonna put a proficiency into another weapon style as well. The way these types of proficiencies work, if you use a weapon you're not proficient with, you're gonna have a bunch of, like, your 2 hit your damage is all gonna be much worse than normal. So it's pretty bad to use a weapon you're not proficient with. With these weapon styles, you get bonuses as well here. Based on how you want to use your weapon. We're going to do sword and shield style. The bonus here is that we're less likely to be hit by missile weapons like arrows. So that's awesome. Single weapon's good too. You get a ton of AC bonus here. You get a crit bonus as well. And this one and two-handed are probably the best styles. But we'll do sword and shield because most of our offense, I think, is going to be through spells. We're just going to buff ourselves or do a bunch of AoE, that kind of thing. So we'll stick with the sword and shield here. You get just an AC bonus from having the shield equipped, plus additional AC off the missile weapons. That's just going to make us nice and tanky. So let's do that. Alright. Spells. So you get 3 spells at level 1. Spellcasters are pretty bad in the early game, but they get better later on. Early on, though, I think we're just going to load up on Cure Wounds. Bless is really good, too. We'll probably pick up Bless as soon as we can. Doom is nice as well. There's no saving throw for Doom, and it makes additional saving throws worse. Doom and Armor of Faith is pretty good, but not at first level. Yeah, I kind of like just curing our wounds. We'll rest less, which means we're going to get jumped less by random encounters, so that's always nice. Appearance, whatever. Okay. What do we want for a voice?
To battle!
Okay.
All will die.
Oh, we'll die?
Your life shall be mine.
Nope.
Death will come swiftly for you.
Nope.
Go, go, go!
Oh, Jester.
Now you're going to be sorry!
That's not quite it. Oh, Ford, would you like a blueberry cupcake? Oh, can't do it.
Who's in for it now?
Whoa, that's kind of nice.
You don't stand a chance.
I kind of like that, too.
Your doom approaches.
Oof.
Do as I say, and we will thrive.
Man, these are all so edgy. I don't even know. Just be tough.
Who's in for it now?
Yeah, we got a big scar on her face. He'll be a tough, loudmouth female dwarf cleric. That sounds awesome. What do we want for a name? Can I use a keyboard now? There we go. Shy. That's me. Accept. Okay, difficulty. So there's a billion difficulties. I'm trying to remember what I normally play. I think it's either normal or core rules. Normal's nice. They do a little bit less damage. The big thing is that you can memorize spells from scrolls without failing, which is the absolute worst. Your hit point rolls are maximized as well. I think the last one we played, we did it on core rules, so we'll probably just core rules it up again, see how it goes.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep's austere walls, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. Today, Gorion has appeared more agitated than ever, and now he has uncharacteristically interrupted your chores in the middle of the day, imparting hurried instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and unexpected journey.
Awesome.
I'll get it in a minute, Gov.
Alright, and here we are. We've got all our settings pretty much the way we want them, I think, for now. But yeah, we are playing Baldur's Gate. This is what it looks like, so enjoy. You can hit tab to kind of see the little names. The first thing we want to do is go in this inn here. Purchase some items. There's some tutors here that'll give you tutorial stuff that we're going to avoid them if we can. This is Winthrow. He is a salesman. So he wants us to pay 10,000... he wants us to give him a book worth 10,000 gold before we can buy from him. We are, of course, going to call him a big kidder and hilarious, as always. he hates that. Yeah, I think if you... I can't remember what the good reaction is there, but whatever. Tell me what you have. We don't need to rest, so we can rest. We can buy drinks, which will give us rumors about potential quests. And we can purchase things. So you can't use a flail. I believe this requires a little bit more strength. Yeah, 13 strength. But we can use a morningstar. I think the morningstar is a little bit worse than the flail, but that's okay. Strength is not going to be a problem eventually. We're not just going to run for any items that will increase our strength, but it'd be nice to have later on. Got some people in here. Noble people. We don't really want to talk to them if we can help it. Kind of dicks. This is locked. Yeah, if we started with a thief, we can go upstairs, and I think there's some valuable items up there. But that's fine.
It's hard to find decent folk nowadays.
Firebeat Elven here. What are you up to, man? Orange House of Youth. Oh, yes, he wants us to find his Identify scroll, which is with Tethril. I accept. Let's go. And you just move around by clicking. You can, when you have multiple party members, you can like mass select them.
I'll get it in a minute, Gov.
Let's see. Flydia, what do you want?
Hello there.
Hello. The history of Harua. Ah, yes. She wants us to find her book. Wherever could it be? Cow. What do you have to say, Mr. Cow? Nothing? Cool. You can't talk to animals in this one, even if you're a druid, unfortunately. Priest quarters. What's this? So this is the other good thing about the tab key, is that if you're holding it down and there's a lootable item, it'll be blue. So you can click on this. Aha, History of Harua. I think that Flydia was looking for this. But now we have Dreppen also. What does Dreppen want?
do you need?
Just letting us know about the book. Alright, Flydia. What's going to be our sweet reward for finding your book? This is one of the first quests in the game. I'm sure we'll get some pretty game-breaking items here.
Hello there.
Bam. So we got it back, and we got 50 experience and nothing else. Perfect. Excellent quest. XP, of course, being what you need to level up. The R key will bring you straight to your character sheet, where you can see lots of different stuff. Like if you want to check your, like what your proficiencies are and stuff, this is where you would do that. And here's how much XP you need to level up. So we need 1,500 to get to level 2, and we just got 50. So, a long ways away. Where is it? Excuse me. Allergies, man. Priest's quarters. What cool stuff is happening in here? Oh, hello, Mr. Shank. How are you? Why, yes, I am the Ward of Gorion. How can I help you, sir? You hate to see it. We are now in combat, which is going to be pretty basic at this level. I think we're basically just waiting for this guy to die. Oh. And it's over. Yeah, that guy...
It's on me, is it?
That guy always goes down in one hit, I'm pretty sure, no matter what you're doing. But yeah, he's an attempted assassin. What is happening? Parda. Shaw, you cut yourself above the brow. Oh, Parda, there was a man in there. He smelled like the stables and he tried to kill me. Equip yourself at the inn and go join Gorion. I'm actually thinking
It's
now...
on me, is it?
And this probably would have been an important thing to do right away, but I don't have any armor. So I'm glad I didn't die to Shank. Let's go get that book. Firebeard Elvenhair said that Tetheril in the Inner Grounds had something for him.
The worm shall wander the earth,
When
and
shadows
such a
descend
pestilence
upon
will
the
follow
land,
in his wake that
our
all that know
divine
of
lords
his
will walk
passing
alongside us as he
shall be
shall.
struck down by
So
the
saith the great
plague.
Alaundo.
So saith the great Alaundo. So yeah, this is something that happened somewhat recently. In lore-wise, there was an event called the Time of Troubles, where a bunch of gods came down from their plane of existence. The Pantheon came down basically and started to walk the earth as mortals. It was called the Time of Troubles.
Such a pestilence will follow
One of the gods, Baal, the Lord of Murder, he was walking around as a mortal. He foresaw his own death, and essentially Alaundo predicted that he would die and leave behind numerous children in the world to cause chaos. No foreshadowing there at all, though. Clearly just some random lore that's not going to impact the game at all. Firebeard has sent you to me. Very well, return the scrolls, but you must hurry and speak with Gorion. I have no doubt that we should, but let's do that. Let's get whatever we can get from him and get some armor too, so that we don't end up walking around the overworld with no armor. Sounds good to me. Okay.
I'll get it in a minute, Gov.
I just dropped the... You can't sell these quarter staves. They're not worth any money, so I just dropped it right to his feet. He doesn't care. Okay. Let's see what we can wear for armor. Not a whole lot. How much money do we have? $45? That's not very much. Guess we're getting a medium shield here. This is weird. I always remembered having more gold than this at the start. Oh well. Studded leather it is, I guess. So anytime, as you can see, our armor class is listed right here in the corner, along with our hit points, our THAC0, which is basically our accuracy, and our damage on hit. So we do 2 to 8 with the morningstar. or 2 4-sided dice. This, as you can see, it's going from 7 to 4 when I select the armor. So the lower your armor class, the better. Same for your Thaco here too, your accuracy. This means to hit armor class 0. So if you want to hit someone with a 0 armor class, you have to roll. I have to roll at least a 20 on a 20-sided die. So for instance, if I wanted to hit a character with an equal armor class to myself, this is armor class 4, so it means I'd have to roll a 16 on a 20-sided die to hit myself. There's no Thaco bonus for the Morningstar there, but you can get items and stuff that will lower that. Shield is going to drop us even further. It's going to put us down from 4 to 3, and it is going to get us our -2 armor class. So we have an armor class 1 versus missile weapons right now. So that's not too bad. We should get a helmet too, actually. That would be really nice.
Hard to find. Decent folk.
Okay. So we did his quest. He gave us 50 experience. He gave us a potion of healing, which is really nice. And he gave us he cast protection from evil on us, which is pretty nonsense. We're not going to get any use out of that. Is there anything else to get here? I think we got pretty much everything. Man, this guy just says everything is katanas. Small shield. Oh yeah, let's get a helmet. Not every class can wear a helmet, but if you can, you can't be critically hit, which is nice. And then we'll throw that in our quick items. That if we click that, we'll just use our potion of healing, which is going to heal us for 9 HP. We have 10 HP, so pretty good for right now.
I'll get it in a minute, Gov.
Let's head down this way. I know there's some more starting quests we can do. And then if you want to use spells, you can use spell. You click here and you select the spell you want to use. We only have 1 right now.
What do you want?
So let's make it a quick spell. There we go.
May as well.
I'll get a little bit more into combat. The shank fight's not tough, so there's not a whole lot of reason to get into it, but there's some cool stuff going on. There's actually a fight tutorial in here somewhere too, but I'm not going to do that. $8, nice. Okay, a guy just went in there. Yeah, not too worried about gold right now. Once we start clearing out dungeons, we're going to start accumulating a ton of gold, so that'll be okay.
Our rules are very
Uh-oh, what do you want, Mr. Gate Warden? Soon to be gone, will he? He wants... Oh, here's the combat tutorial. We do not want this. Yeah, they hate you for not doing the tutorial, but... Okay. Let's see. There goes our protection from evil, that useful spell. There is actually a fight in this map here, but there's also a guy named Hull. Here he is. What do you want, Hull? Hey, kid. He left his sword in the barracks. You woke up late and you left your sword in the barracks. Aren't you a guard? So I feel like some of the main responsibilities for just a guard of a keep would be have a sword on you and get to your post on time, but apparently he's not the most successful guard. Bunkhouse. This is the barracks here, I think. Yeah. Is he gonna have to let us in? I think we can get around him. Yeah, we can. Get out of my way. Fuller. What's
I'll
up,
get
Fuller?
it in a minute, Gov.
I should have joined the army.
What a mead-filled night. That Hull is just too much. Or Sab had to go man the gate this morning too. So Hull got wasted the night before and didn't make his shift on time and forgot his sword. He's just super hungover, basically. We're gonna rat him out because we're dicks. Should be in that chest over there. I don't remember which chest. I feel like there's some good items in here, including plate armor, but if you start just aggroing the guards, you're gonna have a bad time. We'll grab that antidote as well. Maybe our hungover friend would need some poison curing.
May as well.
I wonder if there's a way to keep that antidote. Poison sucks when you're low level. Just taking even 1 or 2 damage every couple seconds when you have 10 HP. That's pretty bad. Where'd you go, Hall? There you are. Took your sweet time. 10 gold pieces and get out of here. Oh, what a jerk. Still a ways away from leveling here. Let's keep going. Casual destroyed house. Reaver, the storehouse. So, there's the guy that wants us to do the tutorial. Let's see what Reaver wants. Oh, he asked us to clean the rats out of the building yesterday. Hurry up and hop to it. So, just in case you forgot this was, an RPG, here's our reminder. Whoa. So spacebar pauses the game at any time. You can do that during combat, which is good because it lets you start giving orders like using abilities. Here's our true sight. Here's our seeking sword. You know what? These rats, they're not. These are evil people. I think that nothing less than the seeking sword will. Okay. I was really worried there for a second. That's it, right? Yeah, seeking sword. I was really worried for a second. Nice. Oh, and that's it. That's the seeking sword. We got 3 rats with it at least. The to hit bonus makes this less annoying. We don't have a high strength, so our 2 hits not very good. So the extra +4 from that sword makes those rats a little easier. Silver ring, love it. Also, there is just straight up cats in here. I'm gonna turn party AI off. I want to make sure I have full control over my guy. If you noticed, my character was just engaging the rats and fighting them without any input from me, which is fine. I like to have that little control, I guess, especially this early in the game where your movements can matter quite a bit. But yeah, we killed some rats. We showed how pausing works. We used our awesome sword. That was a per day spell, so we don't. It's gone now. We don't get another one until we rest, which is fine. We'll be resting pretty soon. So Reaver, kill them like the rats they are. A glorious battle, unlike this world has ever seen. Here's 5 gold. Damn. Don't spend all that in one place, no doubt. I'm sure there's other quests here, but I'm pretty sick of just hanging out in Candlekeep, so let's peel. You just have to talk to Gorion, your ward from the guy they talked about in your intro there. Hello. Imoen. She has a face. She must be important. That old fiddle faddle. You snuck off, did you? You good at sneaking there, Imoen? Sorry. Wish I could go with you. Yep, really wish I could. Yes, ma'am, really do. Alright, I get the message. Oh, Imoen's read a letter that she shouldn't have, it looks like. Yeah, she's not the best liar, but she has her uses. Plus, she has a face, so I'm sure we're going to see her again. What's up, Gorion? My ward. It's very unnerving, but you must trust me. We must leave Candlekeep immediately. Hurry, there is no time to tarry. The keep is well protected, but not invulnerable. I'm ready to go right now, as it just so happens. We're not going to ask any questions. Let's just go.
Become separated. It is imperative that you make your way to the Friendly Arm Inn. There you will meet Khalid and Jahira. They have long been my friends, and you can trust them.
This guy's going to give us another protection from evil, sure.
Let's hurry, child. The night can only get worse, so we must find shelter soon. Don't worry.
That was really loud.
I'll explain everything as soon as there is time.
Let's get going through these weird crop circles.
We are in an ambush. Prepare yourself.
You're perceptive for an old man. You know why I'm here. Hand over your ward and no one will be hurt.
You're a fool if you believe I would trust your benevolence. Step aside and you and your lackeys will be unhurt.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, old man.
Run, child. Get out of here.
Manus potentis paro.
Especially cruel this morning. You awake with the realization that you have not been living some horrible dream. Ambushed, you saw Gorion cut down before your eyes, and even his powerful magic could not stop the onslaught. It was his wish that you flee, but that does not remove the feeling of helplessness that now overwhelms you. Hand over your ward, the armored fiend had said. He was after you and you alone, but why? If only Gorion had given some clue. But now you are alone and lost. Candlekeep is near, but you will find no quarter there. The readers pay for their serenity with rather draconian entry rules, and without Gorion's influence, their doors will remain closed. You will not last long on your own with your meager equipment. Perhaps you can get some help from the friends Gorion mentioned, the ones at the Friendly Arm.
Okay, so
Me, Emmowen.
we'll unpack all that in a second. Sorry I followed you. Just left on a whim. She can never get back in, but sure. How could you have known? Gorion did not even tell me. You accidentally read a letter on his desk? We kind of figured that. Alright,
I'm not.
so we have Imowen. She joins us pretty much automatically. We can kick her out though if we really want to, but we do want to keep her. Let's check out her character sheet here. Just hit R and then just click her portrait, and there she is. So she's like our BFF since childhood. So, you know, we got a little bit of girl power going on here. We have officially passed the Bechdel test. Good job, everyone. She doesn't have a ton of strength, but she's got tons of dex. Her con's as good as it should be. Her int is also really good as well, which we'll talk about a bit more later. But she is a thief. So in this game, it's almost essential that you have a thief in your party. Just between, you can lockpick stuff, get a ton of extra treasure that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise, even if you have a high strength person to bash open chests. There's some that you just need a thief to open. She also can detect and disarm traps, which will save us a ton of life over the course of the game, I have no doubt. So thieves are awesome. You can actually dual class her too later on and turn her into a thief/wizard, which I've never done before, and I'm really interested in trying out. But yeah, this is Imowen. She is awesome. We now have a thief. And she's also, if you go to her combat stats, you can see that she is good with short swords and short bows. And she has a short bow equipped right now, along with 1,000,000 items. So oil of speed, that will make someone move and attack faster. We got some health potions. We'll kind of spread these out. And then she has a wand of magic missiles, which I think I'm going to give to her. We can both use the wand, I'm pretty sure, but we got to keep the antidote too. Nice. Yeah, we can both use the wand, but she's going to be a little bit more back of the back line at the start of the game. So yeah, we will give that to her.
What do you want? I'll get it in a minute, Gov.
So Gorion's dead. That sucks. It's a quick save. Let's actually do a real save too. Yeah, I don't know how many real saves we're going to do, but let's see what happens. New save. Shy one. Yeah, Gorion's dead. Armored figure killed him. Armored figure with a great voice actor killed him. I wonder if it's that Star Trek guy. It might be the Star Trek guy, I'm not sure. This is the road to Candlekeep. But yeah, Gorian's dead. He told us to go to find the Friendly Arm Inn and find Khalid and Jahira. Yeah, west to Candlekeep. So we can't go back to Candlekeep. If we try to go back, we need to give them a book worth 10,000 gold. And that's just not going to happen. Let's stay away. Bears are normally passive, but if you get too close to them, they could just randomly aggro. So better to just avoid them when you're level 1.
Me. I might catch something.
Never seems to work, does it? Don't come any closer or I'll jump. He'll do it too. There is so much to live for. Listen, a little social isolation is not the end of the world, buddy. We'll be fine. What a fool I was to think this would solve anything. It didn't solve anything. The last time I stood here, it was stopped, not the time before that. It's such a long walk. Okay, so that guy didn't kill himself. We'll consider that our first lawful good victory here. And what we're doing, we're just wandering the wilderness right now. This is not one continuous map. If you hit the M key, you can kind of see the edges of it, along with highlights. Like there's the ambush site where Gorion was killed. Let's check it out, actually. Maybe we can loot our Daddy Gorion here. Okay, 58 bucks. Ooh, a scroll and a belt, you say. That belt is not identified, so I don't want to put it on. We don't know what it is right now, so it could easily be cursed. I assume that nothing Gorion wears is cursed, but let's pretend that we don't know that. So here's a scroll he dropped. My friend Gorion, please forgive the abruptness. The other side will move very soon. Jahira and Khalid again at the Friendly Arm Inn, just in case we forgot. Perfect. So let's drop that note. Oh, a gold ring. More gold. More gold. These are from the guys Gorion killed. As you can see, he's a pretty good mage. He made like 5 of himself. He shot a fireball. Clearly very powerful, so whoever this armored figure is, he must be even stronger. And with a voice like his. Another black bear we don't want to deal with. We're just going to do a little exploring here. It's really addictive to just fill in every single map. I don't think we're going to go that far, but we'll see what else we've got to offer. And the way the world map works, if you go to the edge, you get this little wheel icon, and when you hit the edge, you can choose a travel destination. We'll discover different areas based on which edge of the map we exit it from. But in this case, when we exit, it will it'll unlock this little wilderness area here. This is where we are right now. There's Candlekeep where the tutorial was. So let's hit this patch of wilderness here.
Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
It's been nigh until 10 days since we've seen a soul walking this road. The desperate or the deranged. Pestering strangers. But you know the way to the Friendly Arm Inn? I have no doubt that friends shall be there waiting with open arms. Well, I hope so, or else that's some pretty bad, pretty bad naming job on that inn. And this guy peels. This weird wizard wearing all red. I wonder who that guy is. Oh, he's coming back. Where are you going, buddy? Oh, he's gone. Okay. Pathline. Lion's Way. Candlekeep to the east, to the west, Coast Way to the east. So he said it was north to get to the Friendly Arm Inn. That just seems like a good option right now. This Khalid and Jahira, they might be able to help us out. gonna hold down tab here. You can miss some really good items just because like there'll be a tree with a tiny little bright blue spot on it. If you click it, it'll be like a diamond or something. Let's go to the north. So there's Friendly Arm Inn. Now it's blue, so we can travel to it anytime. We don't need to go space by space once we discover an area. Like, I don't have to go back here to get to Candlekeep. I can just click Candlekeep and travel. So once we go here, we'll be able to do the same thing with this inn, which is awesome. Okay, safe at last at the Friendly Arm Inn. My next step should be to find and introduce myself to Khalid and Jahira. So I think that's what we're going to do. So just to recap here, we got her to Candlekeep at Gorian's request. Gorian was immediately killed by Mr. Antagonist in the armor. We met up, Imoen found us, we joined up with her, and then we made our way to the inn. Seems like a good place to stop the first episode. We're about an hour in, I think, and that seems like a good episode length. So yeah, if you appreciate this video, definitely let me know. I'd love to hear any tips. I've played this game quite a bit, but this game has tons and tons of stuff that you could just never possibly figure out all on your own. And it does have a pretty big community behind it too that still plays it despite its age. So if anyone has any tips or anything that I could potentially go back and get that I've already walked by, please let me know. Other than that, though, everyone have a great time. Hope everyone's doing okay self-isolating, and I'll see you in episode 2.